All right, everyone, this is going to be directions on using the laser for the first time. And yeah, we do use CorelDRAW to design something that the laser can either engrave or cut out. So follow these next few directions and you'll do your first laser project. The first thing that you need to do is you need to set your workspace size as 32 by 18. You can see it's quite a bit larger than some of our previous designs. And the reason why it's that large is because when we're working with the laser, we always need a workspace that is the size of the laser bed. So it needs to be 32 by 18. Now we're going to be designing something on something much smaller. Okay, so let's, for example, if I went new 32 by 18 and click OK. Now, the one thing I want you to get in the habit of doing is if you notice on this top left corner is often our 0 point in the X and Y direction. 0 on the ruler is right here, and 18 is right there. So in all like actuality, 0 is right in this bottom left-hand corner. We want it to be in the top left. And we can easily do that. We can reset 0 by going up to this button, clicking and holding. And then I'm going to bring this over to the workspace and let go. You can see now I'm at 0 and 0. All right, I'm going to get back to this file right here. Now I've already zeroed this out, but I've got some directions on here that we're going to go through. Before we get to those, we're going to set the size of what we're going to be designing on. So even though the workspace of the laser is 32 by 18, we're only going to be designing a very small rectangle right up here. The size of that rectangle is 3 inches wide. So to mark that, I'm going to go back over to my ruler and left click and hold. And I'm going to drag this over, about 3 inches. And I can actually tell it to go to exactly 3 inches by inserting 3 into the X coordinate. The height of the workspace I want is going to be 2. So I'm going to go about to 2. Actually, it's going to be -2 because it's going in a downward direction. And now I've got this workspace that I want you guys to be designing something for the laser. There's going to be 3 things on this little 3x2 area: your name, a polygon, and a basic shape. Let's start with your name. It says that it must be black and hairline, which means it is a vectored image, and it has to be an outline. It has to have no fill in it. So let's get into the text tool and let's go ahead and put your first and last name. I'm just going to put, Charlie Olson. I don't know a Charlie Olson, but maybe I will someday. Now, I am a big believer in finding fonts that are more creative than Arial. So I'm going to just maybe find something that looks a little bit better than that. We'll go with this one. And right now it is filled in with black. I said I want it no fill, which was a left click. And I want it outlined in black. Okay. Now I can make this as wide as I want. as long as it's not past the 3 inches. But it has to be hairline. It has to be hairline. So if for some reason it's 0.5, it's definitely going to look, it's going to look a little bit bolder. Okay. This is no longer a vectored image. I want you to think of a vectored image as something you would go and you would literally like trace all of the lines with a pencil, right? One single pass. And that's what the laser is going to do with this. It's going to take that black line and it's going to engrave it into your card. Okay. So anything that's black is going to be engraved. We've got something that's vectored, that's engraved. And let's stick with black and let's go to a basic shape. I want you to draw a basic shape and it has to have a point thickness. It has to have an outline thickness. That's called a rastered image. Okay, so let's take a look over here. There's a tool called basic shapes. Let's make sure we go. Let's get pick. There we go. Here's basic shapes, and there's all sorts of different options here. You could click on the actual basic shapes, and you could put a smiley face. Oh, there we go. You can put a smiley face if you wanted, or I'm going to go ahead and do. There's arrows. You could click on different arrow shapes. Okay. You could go to. I'm going to go to callouts. Different types of callouts. Sure. I'll do a callout like this. All right. I could even try and let's see. Rotate that around a little bit. There we go. Move it. Now with this basic shape, I do want it to be black, but I want a thickness to it. A noticeable thickness. It is thicker than hairline, but I'm going to give it a little bit more, maybe like let's go to 2. Okay. So a noticeable thickness. The laser is still going to engrave this, but it's going to almost like it's going to color it in, right? It's going to color in the thickness of that line, and it's going to be much more noticeable on my paper card. The last requirement is that you're going to use the polygon tool. It's going to be red and hairline, which makes it a vectored image. So I'm going to get into the shapes tool, which is right here. There's the polygon tool. There's a lot of different things you could choose. I'll let you kind of look through some of the options. What's nice about some of these polygons is that, I could draw the polygon, and then there's other. This one doesn't have it. I could change the number of sides to it if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to use polygon. Maybe I'll do something a little more fun. Let's go to a star. Maybe I'll use a spiral, right? Oh yeah, there's my spiral. And of course I could change the direction of the spiral. Not sure what some of these do. Oh, here we go. Let's get into the pick tool. Okay. I'm going to get this. Let me bring it off of here for a second. Let me try draw that spiral again. Okay. So I can set the number of curves before I actually draw it. and I can set the direction, and I'm sure this is the spacing. Yeah. All right. Well, I learned a little something here in my video. I'm going to delete these because I don't want them. Back to this one. It needs to be red and hairline. So I'm going to make sure that I choose hairline and I right click on red. All right. My name card is designed. I'm going to make sure I save it to Google Drive, and then we're going to go to the laser and get some instructions to create this.